Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for The Last of Us. This one's going to be doing another discussion video and another news video. We're going to be talking about the renewal of The Last of Us Season 3. So, yes, just a few days before The Last of Us Season 2, even before the premiere or any kind of ratings like that, we are already getting a third season of The Last of Us. So, man, that was fast. I gotta say, that was really fast. Now, it makes sense because of one simple reason. We've known this for a few months, is that apparently this season coming up, Season 2 of The Last of Us, is not going to adapt everything from the second game. And obviously, you're not gonna cut them off, midways through. So, it sounds like they at least need a third season to adapt the rest of the second game, which will be in Season 3. Now, obviously, that makes sense why they would renew this early, because, here's the thing. They're not gonna cut that off, like mid-game events, you know what I mean? So, they at least need a third season. Now, my question is whether or not this will be the final season. Because we do not have a third Last of Us game, and it doesn't sound like we're anywhere near the release of a third Last of Us game. And obviously, if they're going to do a Season 4 of The Last of Us, they would need a third game to adapt, right? Unless they do TV original content. But we've heard from Craig, the showrunner of The Last of Us TV show, that he doesn't want to go past the game. He doesn't want to do any TV original content. So I'm assuming that this will be it for a bit, you know what I mean? So we'll have Season 2 this year, literally this weekend. And then I'm guessing 2 years from now, probably, because it took them 2 years between Season 1 to Season 2. So that means 2027 will probably be Season 3. And then that'll probably be it. Yeah, at least until there's a game to adapt, like a third game to adapt, everything going on. So, yeah, in terms of that, I'll say, I think that's probably what we're in for, yeah, because, like I said, I feel like if there was a Season 4, there would be a third game to adapt, and because they're not willing to do TV original content, I feel like that's almost in a weird way confirming it right there. So, I'm excited to see how they adapt it. I'm excited to see what they, keep from the game to only adapt in Season 3, and what they adapt for Season 2, right? That's the interesting question, because obviously I've mentioned before, I think that there's going to be a certain character that takes the spotlight in Season 2. Those who have, kind of played the games, you'll know.
Keeping an eye on all the stupid shenanigans.
And then in Season 3, I think there's a certain character that will take over the spotlight for Season 3. Like I said, those who have played the game, I think you know what I mean. I think there's a certain point where they're going to cut it off, and then Season 3 will start in a very different perspective, is all I'm kind of thinking it's going to be. But again, it's interesting because according to what I've heard, apparently this season is already supposed to start filming later this year. So it makes me wonder, will we have to wait until 2027, or are we getting this season sooner than we're thinking? Could we get Season 3 of The Last of Us next year, and then that's the cap off of that show for the time being, right? I suppose they could have it ready, although the thing is, they have a lot of visual effects and a lot of things to do. Could this be a fall 2026 release rather than an early 2027 release? I guess that's possible, but if you're looking at some of the HBO shows that are airing on their network right now, like House of the Dragon, for example, they air a season every 2 years, and I'm noticing that's what Last of Us is doing as well. So I'm predicting the third season will be in 2027. And we'll finish up the events of the second game by that point, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking it's going to be. But again, that's all up for debate, obviously, up to y'all. Do you think that there's going to be more seasons after Season 3? Do you think we're going to go further than, where we're at? And do you think that it is a possibility that we could get a fourth season regardless of not having a third game? Do you think that they would go ballsy and do TV original content and just not adapt the third game until it's, comes closer to that time? Because it doesn't sound like they're in a rush to make a third game right now. Naughty Dog already is working on a different project altogether right now, this space game or whatever that they're working on. So I don't see a scenario where we're going to get a fourth season before a third game would release, because it doesn't even sound like they're barely working on a Last of Us third game. So all I'm saying here is that I do think that we will get a Last of Us third game, and I do think that this show will be on pause after Season 3, because I don't see how you can possibly do more seasons if they're not willing to do TV original content. I think that right there just kind of confirms it, but they're not saying that this is the final season of The Last of Us, so my guess is this show is going to go on a massive hiatus after Season 3, and then eventually Season 4 will happen years down the line, adapting the final game of The Last of Us Part 3, right? So that's kind of my opinions on this whole thing. I'm glad to hear that season 3 is renewed. I kind of figured as much as well, too. Makes a lot of sense, and,
So, why you act so sad? I know.
man, I'm curious to see what they keep and what they don't keep in these next 2 seasons. It's going to be interesting. So, post your comments, post your thoughts down below. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, be sure to click subscribe so you don't miss any other videos for The Last of Us. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos for The Last of Us. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a straight fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.